All revelation, understanding, and insight, all truth belongs to God. And without the Holy Spirit's leading, the weight or impact of the interpretation of a message is lessened. God employs a certain kind of logic to communicate with His creation and help bridge the enormous gap between our logic and His logic. God uses metaphors, parables, proverbs, poetry, and stories, and within these figurative devices, He leaves us patterns. We see the divine logic of God again and again in His Word, and we also see it in our dreams. The Creator of the heavens and the earth operates within a divine order even in our dreams, which much of the world might see as merely random and meaningless. When Jesus spoke in parables, He used imagery and storylines that were familiar with His audience. He spoke about feasts, weddings, the harvest, sowing and reaping, and gardening. In much the same way, God uses familiar themes in our dreams. When we look at dreams with comparable themes and storylines, such as the 20 dreams that will be addressed in this series, we need to filter the similarities and differences through two important factors: details and context. As we grasp how these two factors can influence the meaning of a dream, not only do we arrive at a correct interpretation, but we also have the revelation, the understanding, the insight that we need to respond to that interpretation. Here are two things to keep in mind as we study dreams. It's important to note that generational and sociological differences impact the symbolism found in dreams. For example, as the use of smartphones continues to expand, a dream about losing your phone could soon replace the meaning of losing your wallet or your purse. The idea of identity is slowly shifting from what we carry in our wallet or purse to our mobile devices, and we need to interpret the dream with that in mind. Second, different races, ethnicities, cultures have their own views about certain subjects or actions in dreams that could significantly change how one of these 20 dreams would be interpreted. If you are interpreting a dream for someone from a different culture, be sure to ask the dreamer and the Holy Spirit questions about the dream. What does this object typically mean in your culture? What does this color usually represent in your culture? We can't assume that what has meaning in our culture has the same meaning or importance in another culture. As we go through this series, it's important to remember that there is no such thing as cookie-cutter interpretations, one size fits all. However, knowing the general meaning of the top 20 dreams will get you into the right neighborhood for a correct interpretation, and the details and context will bring you right to the doorstep with the help of the Holy Spirit. In addition to offering an expanded meaning for each of these common 20 dreams, this series provides specific examples of how details and context can change the direction of the interpretation. Each section will end with a personalized action step, which is an encouraging what's next blueprint that you can prayerfully follow. Even if you don't think you've had any of these common 20 dreams, this series will help you to grow in your understanding of God and how He chooses to communicate with us. Finally, once again, all revelation, understanding, insight, and truth belongs to God, and all the interpretation belongs to God. Genesis 40 verse 8. He invites us into His revelation through His Holy Spirit. In other words, dreams cannot be interpreted with any true spiritual eternal value if we merely string together memorized symbols. This series, along with other series that we offer, is merely part of the puzzle. Your relationship with God is what reveals the whole picture. As always, intimacy increases insight.